What's up YouTube, and welcome back to Homebrew Subaru. Today I'm doing the 5 most things I love about my lifted Forester. So what's up everyone? I've had my Forester lifted for a few months now, and I think at this point I can make a really good judgment call on what I really love about the lift. Is there going to be a video 5 things I don't like about it? No, because there isn't anything I dislike. Now I've driven to the top of the mountain here locally in Prince Rupert just to try and get some extra B-roll footage, but it's a really stormy day. Like it was pouring rain when I started up here. It's not actually raining right now, but the wind gusts are crazy. Gonna get a little swaying in here, and actually I'll grab the camera and show you what it's like outside right now. You can see all the islands. Alaska would be about straight ahead. You see a little bit of snow up here. So as you can see, it's a super stormy day out there, and I've been putting off this video for a little while. It's something I've been wanting to make for quite some time. The weather here, the forecast, I mean, it just sucks. 5 or 6 months I haven't seen the fucking sun. So yeah, let's get started before my windows all cloud up here. Number 5 is being part of a growing community. There is more and more Subaru enthusiasts and owners that are actually doing small lifts to their vehicles, whether it's 1 to 1.5 to 2 inches. It just seems to be a little bit more popular as the years go on. Not only do I see them online, but I actually have seen a couple driving around. The other thing is Subaru has started its own wilderness line, which is basically a little bit more outdoors type of theme on the vehicles, and they've done it with Legacy, well, not Legacy, but Outback, Forester, and Crosstrek. Obviously Subaru has it in mind that this is something that people are looking for, and they've certainly taken advantage of it. The final thing would be like more camping and overlanding. Generally getting a little bit more height and a little bit more tire makes it a little easier to get to certain locations, especially where I am here now. I've driven to the top of this mountain in the Forester before without the lift and on the other tires, but this time I just drove up the mountain. Number 4 would be the overall appearance. So having a Subaru lifted about 2 inches or so is something recognizable within the Subaru community or enthusiasts. They have to, take a second look. Is that thing is lifted? Whereas outside of the community and someone with the untrained eye that doesn't know, they could very well look at something like this and just assume that it's something else or an OEM ride height. It's got an OEM type of look, but for those that know, they know. Another thing is it appears to be trail ready. You see a Subaru coming down the trail and it's completely stock and it's just loaded to the gills with stuff, and you're thinking, oh yeah, look at this guy coming, right? But having the lift and the extra little bit of clearance, it's really, it just kind of looks normal. Number 3 is going to be the actual seating height. Just gaining that 2 inches, 2.5 inches makes it so much easier, first of all, to get in and out of the vehicle. The seat is actually just at the perfect height where I would like it. If it was a little bit higher, I mean, it would just probably be as easy, but lower than this, it's just like you're getting down into a vehicle as opposed to just getting into a vehicle. There's a big difference there. And then actually sitting in it, the amount of visibility that you gain isn't a lot. It's not like you're lifting like a 1-ton truck, but you do actually gain a little bit of road visibility, in front of you and to the sides. Other drivers, you kind of meet a little bit more window to window, because a Subaru sits pretty low, and now I find like, well, at least I'm at the window height of a minivan. Number 2, obviously the main reason that most people would be doing lifts is to fit a larger tire. The lift itself gives a lot more tire clearance, especially for bounding up and down, but also on your turning radius, because the tire cuts into the inner fender linings a little bit, and just having the tire, the most outer edge of the tire a little bit further away from the fender lining does give quite a bit more clearance, and you can fit a considerably much larger tire just with a couple inches of lift. Something else I've noticed online is people fitting a much more aggressive all-terrain tire to their stock ride height vehicle, and it just doesn't look right. It's not something I would ever consider doing, even if I did want more traction. Not that you can't do it, it just doesn't look right. And then finally, stepping up in size does give you the option to actually move to a light truck tire if that's really something you want to load onto your Subaru. If you need something that much more durable, they're a lot more available in the sizes that you will be able to fit on. And last but not least is number one, is the clearance. The amount of clearance you achieve just by raising a Subaru a couple inches is amazing. There's just so much more ability to drive over stuff, climb over stuff, get through snow or wading through water, driving in or out of a ditch. The amount of clearance front and rear and the breakover point has increased drastically. Something else that actually came to mind, because I'm going to be doing a lot of service to this thing very soon, is actually servicing it. So normally I would drive the Forester up onto ramps to just change even the oil, but I think now I could just slide underneath of it and change the oil in it. So to be perfectly honest, the Forester is something I wish I lifted years ago. I ended up spending my money and time on cars to go faster and be lower to the ground and be sporty, but I've gotten away from that. I'm over that idea, and I really just want to, slow down my pace a little bit and be a lot more functional with my vehicles. Having this as basically my first camping rig to go out with, it was the idea, and I'm glad that I did it now, but I do wish that I did it before. Now there's a video from about 1.5 years ago of me doing like a trail ride in the Forester, and I'm describing my plans on the build and divided it into 3 stages basically. Stage 1 was supposed to be the engine and getting the head gaskets and clutch all done, and stage 2 was going to be the suspension and tires. Well, basically I flipped those around, so stage 2 is complete. I have the suspension, the tires, and brakes are all completed. Now stage 1, which is now stage 2, is pulling the engine out and getting the head gaskets and the clutch done. Once that's completed, I will have a very reliable rig for traveling good distance and going on long trips. So in closing, if you are wondering or even thinking about lifting your Subaru and you have the means and the funds to do so, just go ahead and do it. You will not regret it, I guarantee. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for me. Leave your questions and comments further down below, and I'll see you in the next one.